So this is Rui Lopes and you're watching the Lynn Tech Spotlight. So my favorite part about cinematography is the ability to be able to tell a story from your perspective. The director tells their story, the writer obviously is telling their story, but the cinematographer gets to be able to tell the story from their own point of view. So it's taking everything that the director wants, all his direction, but then finding a creative way to be able to put that forth to the public. When it comes to a film or a documentary, it could be whatever it is, the director tells their story, the actors are telling their story, the cinematographer tells their story, and the last person in that line to be able to tell their story is the editor. So they're taking all of what's been put together, all this hard work, months of hard work, probably years of hard work, and then they're the last line of defense pretty much until the audience gets to see it, right? So I feel like if anything, the editor probably has one of the more challenging jobs, right? Is taking all of these things, all of this money, everything that's been laid for this project, and now their decision making, because editing essentially is decision making at the end of the day, right? It's finding the right decisions of how to put this thing together and be able to put a proper story together.
Where's your microphone, by the way?
Right now, it's actually tucked in my beard.
Okay.
So I couldn't really find a clip, so I kind of took the microphone. So this beard actually has a lot of purposes, and it serves a lot of purpose in my lifetime. And one of the purposes right now is that it's a microphone clip. Attitude, talent is very important, right? Talent is what's going to get people to notice who you are, notice your work. But attitude is what's going to keep them wanting to keep working with you, right? Because at the end of the day, for the most part, most people in this industry, they already know what they're doing. They have the quote unquote talent, or they have the skill and the experience. But what separates you from the next person is how you are as a person. It's how easy are you to work with, right? Because at the most part, some of these projects takes weeks or months at a time to get done. And you, for the most part, you don't want to sit there and deal with somebody whose attitude is negative, right? You're on set all day long. There's a lot of stress that comes with being on set. And on top of that, if you're having to deal with somebody who feels like they don't want to be there, or they're projecting this feeling that they don't want to be on set, it's going to make you not want to work with that person next time. Because you could be okay at what you do, but if you have the talent and the mindset that you want to be on set, and while you're on set, you're giving all of what you have, that's what's going to push you, and that's what's going to help you build relationships as you go forward. Well, it's just funny because you have the people that we look up to, idolize, that literally have $1 million homes. You have all of these, the Will Smiths of the world, the Steven Spielbergs. These are people that are multimillionaires that are making hundreds of millions of dollars a year, right? And granted, that is on the high scale, right? But even if you look at people right next door to you, people that live in your own city, for example, you yourself as an educator, you know, you're making a living off of what it is that you love out of this industry. I myself, as a filmmaker, I'm able to pay my bills and be able to take vacations and do different things out of what I do for a living, which is being a filmmaker, right? For the most part, I feel like within our culture, especially within the minority community, because it hasn't been a big part of our history, like this TV or film. We grew up with having parents and friends tell us that this is just a hobby. You know, don't do it because there's no money in it, right? But, you know, I feel like as technology changes and as we start to see more of us represented, we get to see that there is a living. There is a way to make a living out of this. And I see it all the time. I have a lot of friends nowadays that make their living primarily just out of this, without a second job, without anything else. They support all of their living situations off of being a filmmaker.